Hey everyone, what is going on and welcome back to today's video. In today's video we're getting into another episode of the operator guides. Now as we slowly run out of operators, we're going to be getting into the more unpopular operators and just going over people that might not get played as much as the, say on defense, the Jaegers, the Bandits, the Smokes, I don't know. But today, you can tell by the title, we are doing Warden, and I'm pretty sure Warden has a specific community that do enjoy playing him. So obviously this might be for you, but you guys are probably all more experienced than I am with Warden, I'm not going to lie. So I'll give it my best shot to try and pass on some tips to some newer players if you're interested in playing the man. But obviously we all know that he is definitely not the most powerful operator in the game, but hopefully I can still pass on some tips for you guys just to have a good experience with Warden and give him your best shot if you do end up playing him. So with that said, if you do end up finding this video enjoyable, make sure to smash that like button, drop a sub and notification bell, and also make sure to come check out my Twitch streams. Links in the description down below. I'd love to see you guys there. With that said, I think that's enough of me talking from the start, and let's get into the Warden guide. So as always, we're going to start off with the weapon review, then move on to the gadget utilization and finish off with the operator strategies. So without further ado, let's get into the weapon review. Now Warden has access to two primary weapons, the first one being the MPX submachine gun. This submachine gun comes in at 26 damage on 830 rounds per minute fire rate, so its damage is incredibly low. Most people know that the MPX, which is Valkyrie's gun as well, which is where most people know it from, is a bit of a pea shooter. So this thing shoots incredibly slow. It shoots low damage, that's what I meant to say. It does not have high damage, and definitely you have to adjust to its higher fire rate, sorry, I don't know what I was saying, with the 830 fire rate, and try and make utilization of that due to its such low damage. If it had, like, say, a 35 damage and that fire rate, it would be a much more powerful weapon. But as I said, 26 is low. I'd say it's like some of the lowest damage count you can get on an SMG. So, and the fire rate's not like exceptionally through the roof, like 1000, which doesn't really make up for the low damage. So it's kind of an unbalanced split. But it is incredibly easy to control. Its recoil pattern is basically non-existent, which is a great thing to have when you're controlling weapons, I suppose. But all in all, it also has the 1.5 as well, but all in all, the weapon is difficult to use probably for a newer player, because it really requires you to hit more head damage than anywhere else, so you can actually execute with that one tap headshot that every gun has, due to the fact that majority of the time, if you're having body shot battles against someone who shoots at a consistent time, you're probably going to lose because they have far more damage in their gun. Some ARs have up to like 40 damage where you're pumping out 26, so you're really going to get stitched up, I feel like, eventually. And yeah, that's really where its downfall is. But it is still a solid weapon. I do enjoy using it. As I said, its recoil is basically non-existent. And if you can work out your crosshair placement, you really won't have any problems using this weapon. But there's definitely better alternatives in my opinion. And it's just, for someone like me he sucks pretty hard at hitting heads, it doesn't really work with my playstyle, so that's why I don't really use it. But I'm not underlying it, it's still a solid weapon. His other primary weapon is the M590A1 shotgun, which is a great shotgun. This thing comes with smoke and mute. I'm sure you guys are well aware, if you played for a little bit, how powerful this shotgun can be in a defensive situation. 48 damage a shot on it has a bit of a pump, so it's not trigger finger fire rate. But it shoots pretty fast. It's not as slow as other shotguns. It actually might be the slowest. I really couldn't tell you, but it does have a consistent speed. It's not terribly slow, like unplayable slow. And it does good damage. It deals out actually pretty good damage for a shotgun, especially in a defensive standpoint. Say when you're playing as smoke, etc., you probably already know this. If you're holding down an angle and someone pushes into your way, you will take that win easily with a one tap. And it's also great for making rotations, which if no one else has access to it and you do happen to have Warden available for that, then yeah, Warden can come in handy there as well. And it's just an all-around good shotgun, but I definitely prefer the MPX, but that's just my opinion. In terms of his secondary weapons, he has access to the SMG-12 pistol, which does 28 damage on 1,270 rounds per minute fire rate. So as you can see, it does 2 more damage than the MPX, and it has a higher fire rate. So when you think about it, you should just run around using the SMG-12, but the fire rate on it is too high, I'd say. Like, this thing is incredibly difficult to control. 100% in the clips in the background, you're just seeing me potato everywhere when I try and get the SMG-12 out, because I am no specialist. And I think you definitely need a mouse and keyboard to control that one, or a lot of practice, and I don't have either of those. So yeah, I definitely struggle with it. It is not an easy gun to control, but it does put out a lot of damage in a quick amount of time, due to it having just that just that output of damage at 1,270 rounds per minute fire rate, which is exceptional. It has a good sight on it, the reflex, and it is a great weapon. 32 rounds in the magazine as well. You just have to really practice if you want to get some somewhat decent control on the weapon. His other alternative, is the P10C, which is I'm pretty sure this was introduced with Clash, and 40 damage on a trigger finger fire rate 9mm pistol. It does really good. 15. It's a good alternative, but obviously most people will bring the SMG-12 due to it essentially being more powerful than your primary weapon. So, but the P10 isn't horrible, and I definitely don't mind using it. But yeah, I definitely recommend bringing the SMG-12 just because it's more powerful. In terms of its gadgets, Nitro Cell's definitely the one you want to bring, just because it kind of fits more with Warden's playstyle. You don't really sit in corners with Warden anchoring. He has more of a offensive role, especially when there's stuff like smokes, flashes that you are the only person that can really come in handy in that short amount of time for. The Nitro Cell will help you out there to get accurate throws and hopefully pick off people, so I'd recommend bringing that. So my final loadout, MPX SMG-12 Nitro Cell. Let's get into the gadget utilization. So his gadget is the Glance Smart Glasses. This is eyewear that improves visibility in smoke while standing still. It can also be activated to protect against or reduce flash blindness. So essentially, if you didn't know what these did already, they improve your visibility in certain situations where other operators really don't do anything. So I'm pretty sure the two primary things that he can do, and if I'm not wrong, I think it's the two only things he can do, is when there is a smoke grenade deployed from an attacking operator, you are able to see through that smoke in not completely through it, like there's nothing there, but you have a line of sight through that smoke that no other operator has, so you're able to look through there, and that is why I said you can bring that Nitro Cell if you see people lurking around over there, but they don't, because they can't see you because of the smoke. Maybe they're going for a plant, you can see them planting, so you pick them off. This is where it comes very effective. I'd say the primary thing that you'd want to have these for is if someone is going for a smoke plant at any stage, Warden can just come on through and just nail everyone in that smoke without them even seeing you. And that is probably the most effective way I think Warden can come in handy, other than his direct counter to Blitz. And that leads me into my next point, which is going to be he can also, I'm pretty sure he can completely recover from being flashbanged just by popping his little eye thing. And I know majority of the time you don't remember to do this, but if you can get in the habit of remembering to do this, every time you get flashbanged, even before, if you see a flashbang coming, you just activate that, or you see a blitz coming, you activate that. This can really help you out, because majority of the blitzers will flash you, and they probably won't even think that you're playing Warden, and they'll probably start rushing you aggressively, doing stupid stuff, and then you just drop them on their head, and they'll be like, what the fuck, he was flashed, you know, like the stuff you say when you try and flash people with Blitz, and it just doesn't work. This is what they'll be thinking as you dome them, because you're playing Warden. You actually remember to use these smart glasses effectively. These are the two situations I think are the best situations where Warden comes in handy. The smoke plants, any sort of smoking, pushing, this is where Warden can really be effective, because the other team's probably, if they're even shooting at you, they're probably just spraying, hoping for a lucky kill, whereas you have a line of sight through where you can actually pick people out and stuff like that, which can be really effective. Along with this, you also have access to countering flashes, which can also be very effective, as I said, against people like Blitz. A lot of people do use flashbang, so it can come in handy if someone's doing a fast push, such as an Ash, like around a corner, and they know you're there, so they'll flashbang you. Your glasses come in handy there, and you can still give yourself a good chance at winning the gunfight. All of these things just become effective ways to play Warden, and no, it's not the most overpowered ability, but it's definitely something that you shouldn't forget about, and it can be utilized quite well. And now finally, let's get into his operator strategies. Now, Warden is a 2-speed, 2 armor. I feel like the best way I would recommend playing Warden is probably a light roamer. I don't think I've really ever given this strategy to any operator in these videos, but a light roamer is someone who roams, but he doesn't roam very far. Like, he stays on the same floor of the site, but he just goes to like the other side of the floor and sticks around. This is the best way I feel like to play Warden, because he has access to decent weaponry but not exceptional weaponry, and he has access to a decent gadget but not an exceptional gadget. He can be really useful in just being a presence and a distraction from the enemy, because they know they can't really flash you or anything because you're Warden, so they're going to have problems trying to pick you out of a corner, especially if you're sitting in one. The only way they're going to be able to take it is if they actually push you, so this can be a competitive advantage against people who rely on flashbang smokes to try and push people out, especially if you find someone's doing that earlier in the game, you're playing someone else and you swap over to Warden, you can become a direct counter to their play style. And just all in all, he is someone who I feel like shouldn't go too far from the site, but is most effective not on the site, because his gadget kind of it inspires like aggressiveness, I suppose, because you're able to counter all of these things, but it can also be very effective on the site, which is why I wouldn't recommend roaming on other areas. That's why I'd keep it light, keep it on the same floor, and come back when necessary to use this gadget effectively in countering pushing points on the site. And that is probably the best way I'd recommend you can play Warden as an operator strategy. And with that said, that's going to be enough from me for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to smash that like button, drop a sub and notification bell, and also make sure to come check out my Twitch streams. Links in the description down below. I'd love to see you guys there. I've been streaming there nearly every day. I'm on like a 17-day stream streak in a row. Gonna keep it up as far as I can, and if you guys would like to stop by there, I'd really appreciate it. If you guys did find this video useful, make sure to leave a comment, let me know what you found useful. If you didn't find it useful, make sure to let me know what I could have included. Maybe you can put a comment down so people can go and read them, or you can also just completely shit on me. That's fair. Do what you want, but with that said, I think that's enough from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.